So if you've ever been sitting perfectly still, maybe watching TV, maybe just trying to fall asleep, and then suddenly, just out of nowhere, your heart decides it's running a sprint.
Oh, that immediate fear. It's
Yeah.
it's a primal feeling.
Exactly. That sudden, unnerving pounding, what doctors call palpitations, is one of the most common reasons people, seek medical help.
And it's a source of just profound confusion and immediate panic for the patient. It really is.
And that's what we're looking at today.
It is. What we're analyzing is basically a blueprint for understanding that panic. Our source is a remarkably detailed doctor-patient consultation.
So not just a list of symptoms.
No, not at all. It's a complete roadmap. It shows the systematic process a doctor takes to move beyond that initial fear,
Yeah.
that assumption of catastrophe, and into a real scientific investigation.
That's our mission then. We're going to unpack this patient's symptoms, explore this framework the doctor uses, the 5 major categories, and decode the role of lifestyle in this thing you call the heart anxiety loop.
Yep.
Okay, let's unpack this.
So we're looking at a 60-year-old patient. She described these episodes where her heart felt like it was just beating too fast. Sometimes, she said, like running a marathon, even though she was completely at rest.
And the details she gives are so specific. It wasn't just a flutter. She said she could feel the pounding high up, almost in her throat.
And that was coupled with lightheadedness and that terrifying feeling of insufficient air.
Not that she couldn't breathe, but more like a pressure, a heaviness.
Precisely. And critically, these episodes were sudden. They'd last maybe 5 to 15 minutes, then just stop. And they happened often when she was relaxed. That pattern, the sudden on-off, that's a huge initial clue for the doctor.
We also get some background, which seems really important here. She'd been under a lot of stress, some recent grief.
Yes, she'd lost a friend to a heart attack, which, as you can imagine, just fueled her anxiety. Every little flutter started to feel like a countdown.
And medically.
Mild hypertension, high blood pressure. She's on a low dose of amlodipine, which the doctor noted is very unlikely to be the cause here.
Okay, so probably not the meds. What about lifestyle?
Pretty moderate. 2 or 3 cups of coffee, a little wine on weekends. So the obvious chemical triggers, they were sort of ruled out at the start.
But here's the thing that always gets me. The initial physical exam, everything was normal.
Right. Her pulse was 82, blood pressure was fine, 138/82, oxygen was 98%.
Which highlights the biggest problem in diagnosing this stuff, right? The symptoms happen violently between the checkups.
Exactly. How do you diagnose an event that only lasts 15 minutes and never ever happens in the doctor's office?
It's a ghost.
It is. And that's why the doctor has to put on their detective hat and consider everything. And here's where it gets really interesting. The doctor broke it all down into 5 major physiological categories.
That framework.
A framework. And it's something you, the listener, can actually use when you talk to your own doctor.
Okay, so let's walk through them. Category 1.
Category 1 is normal reactions. This is the most common stuff.
So not actually the heart itself being the problem.
Exactly. These are the non-cardiac, lifestyle-driven triggers. So stress, fatigue, not sleeping, dehydration. The doctor also pointed out that even at 60, hormonal shifts after menopause can make the heart's electrical system much more irritable.
More sensitive to adrenaline spikes and things like that.
Precisely. Uncomfortable, but totally benign.
Okay. Category 2 is benign arrhythmias, which it sounds like the patient described perfectly. She mentioned a sudden, single, big boom feeling.
Yes, that is the textbook description of what we call POCs, or PVCs, premature atrial or ventricular contractions.
Like a misfire.
A harmless electrical misfire. A little spark plug going off a bit too early. They're incredibly common. Almost everyone has them. And they're usually harmless because it's just a single extra beat, not the whole circuit going haywire.
Which leads us to category 3, which is where the whole circuit does go haywire. Supraventricular tachycardia, or SVT.
And this is the one that really matched her description. With SVT, you have a rapid electrical circuit firing over and over. And the key feature she described was the heart rate starting suddenly, like someone flipped a switch.
And then stopping just as abruptly?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's terrifying, for sure, but SVT usually happens in structurally normal hearts, and it's generally not dangerous long-term.
Okay, hold on. If all these things, the PACE, the SVT, are generally safe, why even do the serious testing? Why not just say, it's stress, and send her home?
Because that's the whole point of a systematic approach. You have to rule out the things that are dangerous.
Got it. Which brings us to category 4.
Serious arrhythmias, specifically atrial fibrillation, or AFib. In AFib, the top chambers of the heart just sort of quiver that leads to a chaotic rhythm.
And AFib's the one we hear about that can cause strokes, right?
That's the one. Blood can pool in those quivering chambers and form clots.
Right.
Given the patient's age, AFib absolutely must be ruled out.
Okay, and the last one, category 5.
Underlying structural issues, like coronary artery disease, CAD. The doctor checks this by asking if the chest pressure happens during exertion, like walking up a hill.
But her symptoms happened at rest.
Mostly, yes. So it made CAD less likely, but you still have to check. That 5-point framework ensures nothing gets missed.
So now we get to the mechanism. I think this part is so helpful because it validates what the patient is feeling. The doctor talked about this adrenaline feedback loop.
This is the crucial insight. The doctor made it so clear. The symptoms are not imaginary. The heart has a real physical electrical instability, a PVC, an SVT that starts the whole thing.
And the second the heart speeds up unexpectedly, your brain screams, danger.
It does. It sends a panic signal. And the body responds by releasing adrenaline,
which is a powerful hormone that then makes the heartbeat even stronger and faster,
creating a vicious physiological loop. The terror you feel isn't just an emotional reaction, it's a physical amplifier of the symptom itself.
And just understanding that, just hearing that it's real, has to be the first step in breaking the cycle. It's not all in your head.
It is absolutely not all in your head. It's a real process.
It's a profound shift, isn't it? And this loop, it seems, is often set up by some really simple lifestyle factors.
Oh, yeah. The doctor really focused on two that are so easy to overlook. The first was poor sleep.
From her grief and anxiety.
Exactly. Fragmented sleep. That alone raises your background levels of adrenaline and cortisol, making the heart's wiring, which the doctor said gets more irritable with age anyway, far more likely to misfire.
But the real shocker for me was dehydration. She was only drinking 2 or 3 glasses of water a day.
This is critical. We think of hydration as just about thirst, but it directly impacts the heart. When you're dehydrated, your total blood volume goes down.
Okay.
So to keep your blood pressure up and deliver oxygen, your body has to compensate. It forces the heart to beat faster, to move that smaller volume of blood around.
Wow. So the heart speeding up is a purely mechanical compensation, but the anxious brain reads it as a threat.
And kicks off the adrenaline loop. It's a physical setup for an emotional reaction. It connects everything. The doctor also mentioned diet sugar spikes raise adrenaline, high salt can cause fluid issues. It's all connected.
Okay, so since the symptoms are a ghost, the doctor laid out a diagnostic roadmap, the 3 pillars of testing to actually capture the evidence.
Right. First, the basics. A resting ECG. That's just a quick snapshot to rule out any major problems happening right now.
Then the most important piece of the puzzle, the 24-hour Holter monitor.
Yes. This is a small device you wear that records every single heartbeat for a full day. And the genius of it is you press a button and make a note in a diary whenever you feel an episode.
Ah, so it connects the feeling, the pounding in my throat, with the actual electrical data.
Precisely. Was it a PVC? Was it a run of SVT? Or was it actually a normal rhythm that was just being amplified by anxiety? It gives you the proof.
And the third pillar.
A blood test. Just to make sure this isn't all being caused by something else, like a thyroid problem or an electrolyte imbalance or anemia.
And with those tests ordered, the doctor gave the patient the 5 possible outcomes, which must provide so much reassurance.
Immense. If tests are normal, the focus is confirmed. Anxiety and lifestyle.
If they find those benign PVCs, that's often just managed with magnesium, more water, and stress reduction.
If it's SVT, which her symptoms really pointed to, that's highly treatable. There are medications, simple physical maneuvers, or even a procedure called an ablation that can offer a permanent cure.
And if it's the more serious stuff, AFib or CAD,
then there's a clear plan. AFib requires specific treatments to prevent stroke. Signs of CAD would lead to a stress test. The patient always knows what the next step is, which removes so much of that uncertainty.
And while waiting for results, the doctor gave her this incredible list of 7 immediate, low-risk things she could do right away.
Yes, this list is just gold for anyone dealing with this.
It included increasing water to 1.5 liters a day, which we now see as key cutting caffeine afternoon, and practicing slow breathing, 4 seconds in, 6 seconds out.
Also, avoiding sudden changes in posture, eating regular meals to keep blood sugar stable, a daily walk, and crucially, cutting down on news and screen time before bed. These are all real, tangible cardiac stabilizers.
And finally, the safety net. The part that addresses the ultimate fear. The doctor gave a clear list of red flags, 7 signs that mean you call for emergency help now.
And this is essential. You call for help if you have severe chest pain for more than 5 minutes, if you faint or nearly faint with the palpitations, or if your heart rate stays above 150 while you're at rest.
Also, shortness of breath so bad you can't speak, pain spreading to your arm or jaw, or palpitations that happen after you exercise.
And the last one, an episode that lasts for more than an hour without any sign of slowing down.
That list is so important, but the final reassurance from the doctor is what really lands this.
Absolutely. He ended by stating that the risk of sudden death is extremely low in patients without severe underlying structural heart disease, which she didn't seem to have. Her symptoms pointed toward rhythm issues that were, yes, uncomfortable and frightening, but also highly treatable, not immediately life-threatening.
And that validation allows a patient to actually engage with the plan instead of just being paralyzed by fear.
That's everything.
So what does this all mean? This deep dive shows that palpitations, even when they feel completely chaotic, they need a calm, methodical evaluation. That 5-category framework is key. We learned that the sudden start-stop pattern often points to something treatable like SVT, and we saw that simple lifestyle changes, especially hydration and sleep, are incredibly powerful stabilizers for the heart.
And here's the final thought for you to carry forward. The fear that comes with palpitations isn't just a result of the racing heart. It's integrated into the symptom itself through that adrenaline feedback loop.
It's part of the mechanism.
It is. The moment you understand that the electrical misfire and the adrenaline spike are working together, that's the moment you gain agency. Understanding the science of the symptom is often the first and most crucial step in reducing its fear, and by doing that, you reduce its severity.
Until next time.